Today, I'm here with Brad Martineau, the CEO of SixthDivision and co-founder of Plus This. Brad started SixthDivision about 5 years ago to help entrepreneurs make sense of how to automate their businesses without having to rip their hair out. They did 7 figures their first year of business and have been growing ever since. Some big names they've worked with that you may recognize are digital marketer, Dave Ramsey's Entre Leadership Group, Amy Porterfield, Frank Kern, Joe Polish, and many more. The end result is that they've restored order and sanity to the lives of thousands of entrepreneurs and created a proprietary step-by-step process that makes it easy for entrepreneurs to be confident about what they should be implementing in their business and how to actually get it implemented. And today, he's going to be sharing all that knowledge with you.
If you own a gym or you need a gym, this is your guy.
My name's Mike, and I help fitness studios that are ready to take action, work hard, and grow their studios. In this very saturated industry, there's tons of competition, but the opportunities are incredible. We'll cover the most common challenges in the fitness world and invite guests in the show that have learned to overcome them and share their strategies with you. This is the GSD Show. This podcast is sponsored by Causely. Causely helps fitness businesses get new members while giving back. We've partnered with Causely to give back to kids in need with this podcast, and here's how you can get involved. Each time you review this podcast on iTunes or share the episode post on Facebook, a meal will be provided to a child in need. It's that easy. Everyday actions can make a difference. Thank you for helping us give back, and to learn more about how Causely can help you grow your business, visit Causely.com. Again, that's Causely, spelled Causely.com. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GSD Show. I'm Mike Arce, and today I'm here with Mr. Brad Martineau. What's up, man?
What up? Not much. How's it going, man?
Good. So I'm so excited to have this guy on the show. In fact, I've been wanting to have you on the show for probably the last 6 months. And it's, I think, since I decided to register for the last Icon event, which now I've been to Infusionsoft's event, I think 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
I've seen you there every year pretty much. And I saw that you were going to be one of the speakers again, because you're always speaking at these events. Yep. And that's when I told Sarah, I was like, I really want to get him on the show. And so it works out that you're here in Arizona. I didn't have to travel far for you like I do with some
trying
others.
to make it easy for you. I just need to please.
That's great. Thanks for residing here then.
Yes, I do what I can.
For us.
Yes.
So for everybody here that's watching and listening in, Brad is the CEO and founder of SixthDivision.
Yep.
Correct? So really quick, let's dive into what SixthDivision is as a whole, and then I want to go into something that's really cool and how you got me to want to know more about you. Okay. And then we'll really dive into how this helps people like the audience that are listening.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So SixthDivision exists to serve entrepreneurs. Okay. In a prior life, I spent a very brief time in my life working with enterprise companies. Okay. No passion there. Yeah. So entrepreneurs, small businesses, and what we found, we're kind of born out of the technology and automation space, and what we found is if we talk to any entrepreneur, what they want is they want to get more clients, they would like to get better clients, and they like it to be easier. Right. They like to have a more systematic process, something they can count on.
Doesn't matter what industry you're in.
Doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's like, look, if I could have something I could count on that would give me more clients, more of better clients, more of the right clients, and then had a system in place to just blow their minds so they were super excited. Yeah, I want that thing.
Right.
And what we found is that as people tried to go do that, they started to get introduced to technology. There's only about 400 million options when it comes to technology.
Real easy.
Yeah, and I think it's every Wednesday at like 11:37 Eastern, a new one comes out that's going to change your life, right? So what we found though is as entrepreneurs started to go get these tools thinking that they were going to solve all their problems, they ran into a lot of troubles because it was just really hard and confusing. And so our business was born out of the idea of how can we go help entrepreneurs make sense of all of the technology out there so that they can ultimately build, we call it a predictable client journey, a system that delivers better clients, more clients, and it does it without you wanting to rip your hair out.
Right.
So if you want to take more leads, turn them into better clients, that's
and
what
while
do.
You sleep.
Yeah, and while you, well, see here's the key. It's while you sleep, but also while you're awake. Because I found a lot of clients that they have a system that works while they sleep. But then they wake up and realize it's just in their dreams. So they got to actually, you got to like actually have it live and running so it works while you're awake and while you're asleep. So you got to have both. So,
very cool. All right, so we know that people are rushing to buy your stuff.
Yep.
What are they rushing to buy? What do you what kind of give me a client story? Actually, that might be the easiest way, right? So let's take a fitness one. I think you mentioned you had a couple that you really worked with.
Yeah, we worked with a lot of fitness people. Basically what people are buying is, like we talked about at the beginning, they want to have a better process for taking their leads, turning them into clients, the right clients, and then delivering an amazing experience so the whole thing's streamlined.
So paint a picture for me.
So we've got, so let's talk about the clients. We had a client, his name's Chris Matthews, out in the UK.
Okay.
And he runs weight loss clinics. When he came to us, he had, I think, just one clinic.
Okay.
Now he's got like 4.
Okay.
And he's expanded. So he came out in his model. So we're going to dive in and just talk about like one very minute part of his entire client experience. But his model was that people would come to his website and they would request to come meet with him in his clinic.
Okay.
And then he was asking initially for like 5 or 8 questions on the front page to try and get information, which is going to decrease the number of people that fill out the form. They'd go to the thank you page, and it was just kind of like, hey, thanks for filling the form out, we'll be in touch.
Right.
And then they sent some follow-up emails, and some people showed up, but a lot of people didn't show up.
Right.
And so what we came in and we did is we flipped the way that he was handling that registration process. So in this case, it was one-on-one consultations. The exact same thing could be true for these clinics we're talking about of 50 to 100 people.
Sure.
What we did is we shortened the first form. So we got more people to fill it out in the first place. We took it down to like 2 or 3 questions.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
All right, so you just heard Brad talk about the assembly line, and if you want his training course, which he normally charges quite a bit of money for, he's actually going to give it away for free if you go to thegsdshow.com/E058. But he's not only going to give that away, he's also going to give away his 6 laws of implementation to get these ideas in motion. So go to thegsdshow.com/E058. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the episode. What would be an example of like why somebody would fill out the form? What were they?
Well, they were filling it out because they wanted to come talk with him about
Okay,
signing
so like
up.
a free consult.
Yeah, it was like a free consult.
Okay.
Yeah, would be the same as like a free clinic. Same
Free
idea,
week
right?
or something like that.
Free whatever it is. Yeah. So we shortened the questions on the homepage to just be like a couple of critical ones, really qualifying questions.
Okay.
Kind of like if you don't have a good answer for these questions, you probably shouldn't fill out the form, and I don't want to talk to you anyway. Which
Right.
like we just stop. That's a writer downer. If you have no questions on your forms right now and you're letting any random person get onto your calendar to come take your time, you should change that immediately.
Okay.
You don't want to work with everybody.
Yeah.
There are people you want to work with, and to decide what that is and throw some questions on the form. It can be 1 or 2.
Right.
So like it goes like this, and like we work in the business space, and if I don't want to work with businesses that do less than, let's say, $100,000,
Okay.
then I would say, hey, give me what your revenue range is, and I wouldn't have an option for 0 to 100,000.
Okay.
I would just start at like 100,000 and up.
Okay.
Because then the person that's doing like 10,000 because they just started last week would be like, oh, this isn't for me.
So, for example, if a fitness studio is offering like a free week,
Yeah.
would an example be like a what's your goal, and have a drop down for like weight loss or muscle gain or anything like that?
Yeah, because if you don't want to deal with muscle gain, if that's not your specialty, hypothetically speaking, you just deal in weight loss.
Right.
I don't want someone to come in for a free week
Right.
who's looking to do muscle gain when that's not what I do. Like
Right.
It's a waste of my time. And it goes back to the principle I said at the beginning, which is you got to know why you're doing something, and it's always to convert the person to the next step.
Okay.
So I want to help people lose weight. Why would I ever let somebody have a free week or have any of my time if they want to gain muscle?
Got it.
Right?
Makes sense.
And you can take that into whatever realm you want. It could be, it could be like, how much do you want to work? Maybe you only want to work with people that want to work out at least 3 times a week.
Okay.
What's your ideal? What is your ideal workout schedule? How many days a week do you want to work out? 1. Forget it.
Right.
Because I can't get you results in 1 day a week because I don't know what you're doing the other 6 days a week, right?
Right.
So it's getting really clear on who you want and knowing that it's not about having the number of people that do a free week, it's about having the number of people that turn into clients at the end of the free week. And so I don't want to put people in there that aren't going to be likely to convert to the next step.
Right.
Okay, so that was one thing we did.
Okay.
So it increased the number of people that filled out the form because there was less questions to fill out. And what it did is it increased the quality of people coming through.
Because the questions that you asked they mattered.
Yes, they mattered, yes. Second page, instead of it just being we call it a dead thank you page. And we have a rule, no dead thank you pages.
Right.
So a dead thank you page is a page that goes like this. Thank you.
Somebody from our team will be reaching out to you.
Thank you. We'll reach
Yeah.
out to you or whatever. It's like, no, like it's critical.
That's another landing page.
Yes, and it's more important than the first landing page because there will never be a time that the person is more excited about you and your business than the split second between the time that they fill out a form or they buy something on an order form
Right.
and the time they hit the next page.
Right.
So it would literally be like I walk to the front door in the office, a client walks in, hands me a $10,000 check, I say, thank you, we'll reach out to you, and they walk back out the office. That would be the dumbest thing I could possibly do.
Okay. So give me an example of that $10,000 check. What would you rather do? Somebody comes in, gives you a $10,000 check. What would you do? Immediately ask them to buy something else right there and then?
Well, maybe. I mean, that depends on the funnel. That'd be like, we'd go off into a whole separate conversation. but generally speaking, this is what I would do. I'd say, hey, great, welcome, come on in. Let me get you something. Let's sit down and have a conversation. I want to know more about you so I know how to better serve you.
Got it.
So, and we take that back into the online funnel with Chris Matthews. That's exactly what we did.
Okay.
We took some of the questions we took off of the homepage, we put them onto the thank you page.
Okay.
And it was, hey, tell us a little bit more about yourself so that we can better tailor how we're going to serve you.
Okay.
So what happened is he got a massive take rate on people filling out that follow-up form. And you got to recognize the psychology of it. I've got people coming in and before they're filling out a form, they go to a dead thank you page, that's it. There's nothing customized about the experience at all. We put another form on that says, tell me more about you so I can tailor how I'm going to serve you. And now when they fill out the form, like you got to think of what happens in your mind. It's like, oh, I just told them that I really want weight loss. Now what happens is when I look at everything else that you send me, I wouldn't suggest doing this, but you technically don't have to change anything because what it does is they'll see it as though you're going to help them with weight loss.
Okay.
Because they told you that that's what they wanted help with.
Sure.
So in his case, what happened is it increased the number of people that showed up to the actual appointments.
So the book to show rate got better.
The book to show rate skyrocketed because you got people that are like, they have a more customized plan in their mind of what's going to go up. And he actually customized some of the follow-up too to mimic that. So he supported it, which is why I say I don't suggest that you don't customize the follow-up.
Right.
He did. And I don't remember the exact change in the show-up rate, but I know that it bumped his revenues. It was like 50 grand a month.
Wow.
So, and it was just in, that's like one small little piece, and it was just in the qualify. Like if you think about it, it makes sense. Get the people out that aren't going to buy, right? Like I don't want 100 people in my session, in my free clinic.
Right.
I want 50 people that are qualified and likely to, or at least they're qualified to potentially buy. And then the second page is now when they come, I want to ask a series of questions. So let's go back, I want to tie back to the clinic example because I think a lot of people are in that world, right? So it's, hey, come to my free clinic, ask a couple of questions. And if they don't qualify, I don't want you at my free clinic. Then on the thank you page, hey, tell me a little bit more about yourself. Like imagine the amount of power that you would have, I'm talking to you now because you don't run clinics, you guys do. Imagine the amount of power you would have if you got 50 people showing up and you had 5 to 8 questions that they had filled out and told you exactly what it is that they wanted to have done in their business as you're going to put together the material.
Right, you haven't even put it together yet. You have all this material first.
And maybe you have put it together, but now you can go massage it and you can adjust it because
you got to change your offer, everything.
You change how you talk about the offer because they're telling you exactly what it is that they want. And more important than the fact that you would change all of that is that imagine what it does for your confidence level. Like when I walk into events when people are coming out here, like I already know exactly what they want.
Right.
So when I go in, I can be confident, I can adjust on the fly, I can make mental notes of specific people, and I can start to make comments about like, hey, we got people in here that want this, right? Because you told me.
So quick question for you, because one of the systems that our agency does is we generate hundreds of leads for these fitness studios and gyms, and the free week is hands down the best lead generating source or offer that we have.
Okay.
We've tested. It's literally 3 times better than the next one. And the best fitness studios are converting at a higher rate. The average fitness studios are kind of around average. The worst one, they just don't have no process. They have no process, right? We get, how that is.
Yes.
That's what you deal with. So let's say we want to build a better system, whether it's for our customers or our customers are doing them themselves. They want to do it. A free week, knowing that that's the best way to get people to stop, click on an ad, and learn more. Right? What do you think would be a great thing? How would you take advantage, knowing that this is the offer that brings in the most attention? And then how can we get it so that we can have more people show and want to buy as soon as they get in the door?
When they fill out the first form, what are they asking for? Just more info? Are they asking about the class?
So usually it's a video ad. And the video ad has great footage of the class and what they're going to experience. They fill out, they click on it, take them to a landing page where it's kind of like an elaboration of that offer. So it talks about what they're going to get in that week and all that stuff.
Okay, it's the free week. They are saying, hey, I want the free week.
Yep, so now they put in their first name, last name, email, and phone number, and then hit send me my free week pass.
Got it. Why don't you put the free mat on the offer to get them to fill out the form in the first place?
I don't
like, hey, you get a free week, and as a bonus, we're going to get you your free mat. And on the thank you page, look, here's what I need you to do in order to complete your registration.
Because we know they want the mat.
Yeah, in order to complete your registration, I need you to fill out these 3 forms so I can better serve you when you come in for your free week. And there is one caveat to the mat. In order to get the mat, you've got to get your free week scheduled within the next whatever.
Scheduled or show?
Or showed up. Whichever.
Showed up.
I'd go showed up, right?
Showed up. Okay.
Showed up. You've got to come within the next couple of weeks, or you could even say, look, we just got to get it on the calendar within the next little bit, and then I'll give it to you when you show up, or something like that, where it creates a sense of urgency for the person to come in, but I might pull that bonus offer into the front, where on the actual page, like, look, you get the free week, and I've got this other thing I want to give you.
Okay.
And all you got to do is show up.
I like that.
Right? And then on the thank you page, now to complete your registration, which technically they don't have to do, but to complete your registration, answer these 3 questions so I can better serve you, and fill this out, and then just know that we've got to connect within the next, and it might even just be like, look, we've got to talk in the next 3 days to finalize your whatever so I can give you the matter, or something where you're making it really obvious that you guys have to talk. So you don't have people that go dark on you.
Sure.
So I do something like that again, and all really we're doing is we're playing with where do we move the bait, and I want to move the bait earlier, and then I want to make it tied to something later.
I love it.
And there's that's a core principle. You can look anywhere in your business and your client journey and say, okay, what am I using to incentivize them, and can I tie it to a step further down the road?
Okay.
If I can, the more I can know where I'm trying to take somebody, and then I can architect. It's the same thing about the prezo. Right? We're just talking about doing it in like landing pages.
Sure.
I know where I'm trying to get them to go, and everything that I architect in the video ad, to the landing page, to the thank you page, it's all tied to, I want them to come in for the free week. Not I want them to schedule it, but I want them to actually show up.
I want them to be in here.
Yeah, and then like if it's me, you're gonna have 50 people in there. Like I'd have a mat, I'd have like a name tag, I'd have that thing wrapped. Like I'd be like, okay, who is it? Let me go find yours.
Right.
Right.
That's cool.
And if you've got, if your questions are, hey, we can help you with, what are your main things you need help with? This, or this. I would create a prefabbed, it'll appear custom to them, but I'd create like a prefab note that talks about like the keys to weight loss, if it's like weight loss, muscle gain, or whatever, right? So I'd create that, and you wrap that around the mat. So when they come in, it's like, hey, what's your name? Oh, your name's Mike. Okay, hold on a second. Let me go get yours. So I go get yours, like, hey, Mike, welcome. You said you wanted to, like, your biggest thing was weight loss. Here's some tips I want to give you. Look forward to having you in this free week, right? So now what happens is it's not a fully customized experience on your side, but it is for them.
For them, it feels like it. Here's yours, and you wanted weight loss, but I mean, you have a template for weight loss and all that stuff.
Yes,
that's really great. Man, I love that.
See, now to tie back to what we talked about at the beginning, take that same principle and apply it to how you put the week together.
Okay.
So the whole week is, okay, look, like you want to start the week off, like, look, we're gonna go through this free week, and I, like, if it were me, I'd be like, look, we got a free week. I want to be really clear. I'm doing this because I want you as a client so I can help you with your goals. And we've already talked about what your goals are. So at the end of this, I'm gonna make an offer, and I'm gonna make it like stupid for you to say no.
Now, is this on the phone call when you're scheduled, or you're in person when you see them?
Yes, both. Like it's not
well, because we actually have a really successful fitness studio owner, and that's she kind of does that, with the exception of that I'll make you feel stupid if you say no. But what she does is she'll let them know, hey, we're gonna have a great workout. Just so you know, at the end of this, we have some really cool promotions running, and I'm gonna tell you about them at the end of your workout. Is that pretty cool?
Yeah.
And they'll say yeah, and then they come in, and what she does is at the end she says, hey, so on the phone we talked about this, but we have some cool promotions running. I'm sure you're pretty curious about what those are. So now yours is a little bit more aggressive, but I like it.
Well,
so,
that's just, I'm like, however you decide to say it, you got to look at what's happening here. I love what she's doing, because what she's doing is,
she's pre-framing it.
Yes, and it's just part of the, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to have some promotions, we're going to talk about it, but what she's really saying, if we're not talking to a client and if I'm kind of like riffing, I'd be like, what we're really saying is, look, you're going to come and I'm going to try and sell you something. Right. And if that scares you away, let's just have the conversation now and you can leave. Because if somebody was like, oh, no, look, I'm not signing up for anything. I don't care what your offers are. It's like, okay, well, you don't need to come in.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point?
I'm not going to spend an hour like, look, this is a business relationship. So taking that idea back to like the name tags and all of that, it's how do you create that and start to templatize your offers, but you want to set it up. If you're doing a free week, like, dude, I would have that thing structured so that it feels like 100% customized, and they know the whole week. Like, I want them to spend the whole week chewing on that thing that I'm using as bait to get them to sign up into my program. Not, okay, at the very end, in 30 seconds, now you got to decide if you want this. Like, I don't know if she does it, but I would start to throw out the promotions either at the beginning or I would be talking about them intentionally throughout the workout.
Okay.
Look, man, dude, you picked a good time to come in.
Now, keep in mind, the majority of these are group classes. So you're talking like it's a yoga setting with like 40 people.
Beautiful.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah, so you start off, hey, look.
And maybe 3 of them are on a free pass. Everyone else is a paying member.
Oh, it's even better. Okay. I would introduce the member, the new
and that's
people.
one of the pieces of advice I gave is find the loyalist, the one that's like, she's here for the next 5 years because she's already been here for 3 and loves it.
Right.
And introduce them to that member. So, hey, Brad, I want to introduce you to Sandy. Sandy's actually been a member here for how long, Sandy? Oh, 2 years. She's been here for a while. She knows her stuff. Everyone loves her, and she's gotten some great results here. Sandy, do you mind if Brad kind of hangs out around you when you do the workouts?
Yes.
He's kind of new, and is it okay if he gets a little lost? Can he look in your direction, kind of follow your lead? Yeah.
Yes.
all right, great, I'm gonna let you guys get to know each other. You walk away. What do you think, at law of reciprocity, what do you think Sandy's now gonna say about this place after we just hyped her up?
Yes, totally. And before I let those 3 people in a group of 50, they're doing a free week, walk into the room, I'm gonna welcome them when they come in and say, okay, look, so you're gonna go in, you guys came at a good time because we got some cool promotions. Here's what they are. When we get to the end, we'll talk about it, but I just want you to know, like, we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this.
So you tell them what the promotions are before they start the
I want them
class.
thinking about it the whole hour. Like I don't want them to. So when I've done this, you probably saw it last year. Maybe you picked up on it. Maybe if you were in my session last year. But when I sold last year at Icon, what I did in the first 10 minutes of my presentation is said, hey, and by the way, I just want you to know that everything I'm about to show you, at the end, you'll have a chance to buy it. Like, you can just push an easy button and buy it. We'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. But there's everything you're about to see, you can buy.
So now you have the ability. What you do is you take software, whether they're using something like Infusionsoft or so many tools like that, right?
Yep.
And you're basically able to create these, what we call campaigns, right? Where you can take people through the funnels, not just leads, but also existing customers. Because, guys, the easiest people to sell to are people that are already buying your stuff, right? And a lot of people, and if you go back a few episodes with Zach Lucas, we talk about that. Now, what we don't talk about with Zach is what I like to talk about with you is, okay, now how do you make that happen? We know that customers are easy to buy, but what do you put existing customers through? They're working out, they're having a great time, they're coming in 2 to 3 times a week, they may have brought in referrals already. How do you get them in a campaign where it's maybe automated to where you can enhance their experience with not only value, but also I want to buy more stuff from this guy?
Yeah, well, I mean, so I don't want to like beat a dead horse. It's the same thing. Okay, so all we've done is we said, I've got a lead and I want them to show up for my free class. Well, I ought to bring my value way up here and I ought to be really clear about what I'm trying to get them to do on the back end. Right? All I'm doing is I know I want to go from lead to like the person coming to my free class. Then in the free class, I want to let them know that there's going to be an offer at the end. Here's what it's going to be, and I want to architect the entire class and the entire experience so that it's obvious the person should buy. Okay, so just move that down. Now I've got a client, and I want them to be a repeat client.
Right.
Great. What are you going to have them buy? So it goes back to the exact same thing I said about how I do my presentations. What do I want them to ascend to? I've got to know. Most people don't know.
Right.
But like I want them to buy more. Buy more what? Well, I don't know. Oh, well, then they're not going to buy more. You've got to know what they want to buy more of.
You've got to have more things to sell them.
Yeah, you've got to know. So you've got to know what it is. And then what happens is when they buy, then in that buying conversation, it's not the closure of the sales process. It's the beginning of the next sales process, right? So a lead magnet is not the end of the add to lead process. It's the beginning of the lead to prospect process. Like we got to shift it. The free class or the free clinic or the free week is not the end of my lead conversion process.
Right.
It's the beginning of my client conversion process. And my sales conversation is not the end of my prospect to client process. It's the beginning of my client to repeat client. Mm-hmm. So what do you want them to buy? If I want them to upgrade to come more days a week, or if I want them to buy a food plan or whatever, then when I'm having this conversation about them buying, I'm laying out like, okay, look, so here's how most of our clients ascend that have really great results. Phase 1 is you come in, you do this membership, and then what we usually find is at about week 3, they start to realize, man, like nutrition, it'd be nice if I could just have this handled. And we've got this program. And then typically they ascend to this. So you create those levels so that the client knows where they can go. Mm-hmm. And you, like, I'd give them timelines. Like,
and the funny thing is that alone is a step that if you take that without anything else, which we're going to talk about the next thing, but if you just took that, you're going to have people buy that wouldn't have normally bought.
Yeah.
There's a great book called Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes, but there's a lot of research on this. But what research, no matter where you go, pretty much says this: 1 out of 3 people will buy if just even presented with an upsell. Just presented
right.
with an upsell, 1 out of 3 people will buy.
Yep.
And so now we got that. Okay, so go ahead, go on. So you were basically saying, first you present the options. Okay, we can get this, we can get that. Okay, so now I see the option. Maybe I don't buy it right away because same thing. Maybe I don't make the decision right away. So is there a follow-up email or is there follow-up systems that get them to keep wanting that meal nutrition plan?
And on it, yes. We call it, like when we map out our client journey, and this will be in the free thing we're giving away. So there's like a whole training on this. So I don't have a dry erase board to draw it, so visualize with me here. What we talked about is, can I use your phone and wallet real quick? We're gonna pull these in here. Okay.
All right, cool.
So look.
Are these in the shot?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're good.
All right, great.
Okay, look. So we're going left to right this way, right?
So for those that are listening, you may want to watch this on YouTube or on our show later.
And I'll do my best to describe it in language.
Yes.
So on the far left, we have our advertising is running over here. And this is where we get a lead, okay? And this would be like for a free week, right? And then we got a whole process running where we want to turn the person over here into a client. So this is our free week. This is everything we do in the ad to get the person to register for the free week. This is the free week until they buy. This is when they buy until, naturally, the top is the GSD cup, until they're a client that has bought over and over again.
Right.
Right? So what we were saying before is most people look at it like this. Oh, I've got to do advertising, and then when I get a lead, the process ends. And I'm saying, no, shift it like this. When I get a lead for a free week, that started the process to get them here, which means I want to be talking about this over here. And then when I get a client, I want to be talking about this over here, so that they should always know what's coming next.
Right.
Now, not everybody's going to go, right? I mean, unless you have 100% conversions, which I want to talk to you if you do. Not everyone's going to convert through the steps. So kind of falling out the bottom, you've got people that are not progressing the way that you want them to, and it might be clients, it might be people that took your free week and never bought, it might be people that have seen ads but never opted in. So down there, we create what we call as the re-engagement bucket. And in the re-engagement bucket, what we do is we recognize that we're serving people, and they have a myriad of interests.
Right.
So this is where it becomes critical that you actually know who you're serving.
Okay.
And what we do down here is we basically create different sets of content that talk about different pain points or topics of interest for the people that we're serving.
Okay.
And when they fall out, we call it a cycler. You basically create a cycler that will cycle through the different pieces of content, and you're fishing.
Okay.
So it's like, hey, you came to my free class but didn't buy. Okay. And I followed up and didn't get you to buy. Now you're down here in re-engagement. It's like, all right, cool. Maybe I want to talk about weight loss. Maybe when you came in, you were focused on something else, and I might talk about a very specific component of weight loss, or I might share a case study that talks about how somebody overcame whatever and lost 15 pounds. And maybe let's do, this will be a simpler example. Maybe all you do is weight loss, and you've got somebody who came in that was like 10 pounds overweight, didn't really think it was that big of a deal, didn't want to invest the money, like that's not that big of a deal. What I would do in my re-engagement, or at least what I would try, is I would go shoot like, well, I'd start with like one, but eventually I'd want to build to like 15 case studies of people that have lost weight. And I would intentionally do different gender, different amounts of weight, different races. Like I could do the whole spectrum.
Because you don't know what's going to resonate with that person.
Exactly, right? And I want to tell the story. So like this person may not want to see the weight loss story of the person that lost 50 pounds. But I might be like, dude, I've got a really powerful one where a guy lost 10 pounds or a lady lost 10 pounds and it totally changed their world. Like it opened up this whole world of possibility and it wasn't even that big of a deal. And so what I do is I start to just cycle them through a series of these follow-up messages, and I'm hitting on the different topics or the different examples that I have that might catch their interest in a way that will bring them back around.
Right.
And you build that out. I mean, you can automate that stuff, and like, you know, right away you can have like 6 months of follow-up.
And that's in like email follow-up, right?
Yeah, email follow-up.
Here's one thing that a lot of people don't understand. They're constantly spending money on advertising to get leads in, and then they only work the leads up until a certain point. So let's say you got 100 leads from this campaign, you spent, let's say, $500 to generate, and let's say out of those 100, you were able to get, let's say, 20 of them to buy.
Yep.
What most people are doing, not all, but what most people are doing is they're just spending another $500 next month to get another 20.
Right.
Meanwhile, now they're up to 160 that didn't buy,
Yep.
and at the end of the year, they're at a 960 that didn't buy, and they're still chasing those 20 a month.
Yep.
Those 20 every month cost you money though, whereas these 960 over the course of that year are free. You've already paid for them once.
Yeah, and it's not that you'll get all of them, but there's a really good chance that there are really good clients in there that just didn't come in under the right messaging. So
but out of 960, if you get 5%, that means 95% did nothing with it.
Right.
If you get 5%, you ended up getting about 48 clients.
Right.
At the end of the year that you didn't have.
Yes.
At the end of the year, when it's time to close out the year, if I said to you, hey man, you want 48 clients, or you want me to just say no and start the year with what you got?
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, 48 clients is a big deal.
Right.
You know?
And the beauty of it is it's just something you set up once at the beginning, you kind of monitor. It's not like it takes daily activities.
Last question. Why is it called SixthDivision?
Oh, the question always comes up. So I was a sixth employee at Infusionsoft. Some of you guys have probably heard of Infusionsoft. It's a pretty big company. Sixth employee there about 10 years ago. Well, actually not 10 years ago, but it was 2004. That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Time's
flying.
Yeah. So I was a sixth employee there. And then when I broke off after about 6 or 7 years, we're sitting around, we're coming up with a name for a company. And when I was in elementary school, I had to do a report on the Navy SEALs.
Okay.
And I freaking love the Navy SEALs.
Okay.
And the reason why I love the Navy SEALs is because there's the Navy SEALs, and then there's everybody else. And when we were starting this, I said, look, we're going to build a team of freaking elite people that know how to do this whole thing, and there's going to be whatever our company's called, and there's everybody else. So we wanted to create that, like I really wanted to create a brand of like, yeah, there's them, and then there's everybody else. And I liked the idea of having a military sound to it, but I didn't want to go like, I didn't want to pretend like I was trying to hijack and ride the military theme. Like
the
I'm
Sixth
not,
Platoon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So we were kind of batting ideas around, and one of the guys that was with us at the time said, "Hey, what if we called it Sixth Division, and we can just say, hey, Brad was a sixth employee at Infusionsoft, but he was always secretly building the Sixth Division," and that's what got us on the track. Now, when we're doing our videos and we're talking to people, we've got, in addition to everything we talked about, we've got a framework of how we run our business that's basically breaks the business up into 5 core divisions of how to like think about your business, and we are the Sixth Division that like ties it all together and actually makes it go.
That's cool.
So that's where the name came from.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks so much. I know you're super busy in here, and you're killing it. Every time I see your stuff, every time I hear your name, you're doing something bigger and better. You put together a really great culture here, and I'm actually really glad I came down and checked it out.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
And thanks for all the info that you shared. This was great.
Yeah, I mean, I've officially made it. I'm now on the GSD show. So.
You are, and guys, for everyone, you've heard me say it before, Brad is officially going to get more shit done in his day, scientifically proven. I don't care what you drink out of here. It could be Kool-Aid. It's just, you're faster, smarter, jump higher. It's incredible.
I love it.
I can't explain it.
I'm all about it. I'm all in.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us today. If you like this episode, then subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher, and to our YouTube channel to never miss an episode. You can get all the links by going to thegsdshow.com. Thanks, and see you next time.